We're here. I'm Veer Von Wright, and this is Grafikmetal's annual end of the year best albums of 2024. And this one is grunge rock, stoner rock, psychedelic rock. This one is the trippy kind of ride albums. No particular order. If you want to see our entire Grafikmetal's ranked list of the top 240 albums across all the subgenres, then in addition being able to see the actual scoring for all the albums and where they fit in the entire ranking from 1 to 240, you can buy our Grafikmetal 2024 in review digital book. Okay, enough. Let's get to the list. This is Grafikmetal's favorite grunge, psychedelic, stoner rock albums of 2024 in no particular order. The Bell of Doom by Under the Sun, a stoner proto metal album released on April 5th. The title is misleading. What you'll actually find here is more stoner rock and proto metal rather than the Bell of Doom, but it comes jam-packed with infectious grooves, ad-lib solos, and just a lust for life. Palm Reader by High Desert Queen, a stoner desert rock album released on May 31st. Sit back and take a rest with the bullet. If you seek a journey into the red sun filled with shredding guitar leads, mystery, and a legendary voice guiding you all the way through, this one is worth a read. Just remember to stay all the way to the end and never trust a palm reader. Vermillion Haze by Ozorn, a stoner grunge rock album released on March 15th. Ozorn, Ozorn, Ozorn. Be careful to speak the name 3 times. You may just be taken back to the 90s. Anyone who misses, Alice in Chains, Soundgarden, etc. should enjoy this half stoner, half grunge, half new metal. The Paths of Time Are Vast by Black Pyramid, a stoner psychedelic rock album released on May 3rd. Hell yeah, those thick, sludgy riffs are mighty tasty. Solid vocals and a little more depth and experimentation than the average desert bear with one eye. Everything Fades by Blue Heron, a stoner rock album released on September 27th. Don't be fooled by their terrible band name or logo. Don't let this one fade away, literally. It's dynamic, rangy, and way more than what meets the eye. There is a ton of depth found here amongst these, weeds. Welcome to the Machine by Monkey 3, a stoner prog album released on February 23rd. You want epic? Just feed this machine a banana and you will be set for eons. Who needs a story when you can create this much emotion through just vibrations? This is an instrumental band that truly has something special to tell you. The Head and the Habit by Greenleaf, a stoner grunge album released on June 21st. Sure, it's a standard stone, but sometimes even a single leaf can hold a beautiful flower. My Anti-Aircraft Friend by Julie, a grunge, alt, noise rock album released on September 13th. We can't feel sexy all the time. For those days, when we feel a little bit off, Julie is here to let you know it's okay to do nothing. Sometimes, all you need is nothing. Think Sonic Youth with a little bit more punk attitude. Hidden by Ufomammut, a stoner metal album released on May 17th. It just hits the fuzz, man. Dirty, rough, and full of energy. This is what it must be like to be your socks in the dryer. And yet, through the churning dirt is color and vibrancy being spun to build layer onto layer onto layers, like only the best 7-layer cake can do. This time around, adding even more heavier and darker, layers. The Way Down by Big Scenic Nowhere, a stoner psychedelic prog rock album released on February 2nd. You won't know where you are or where you are headed, but I can assure you something truly remarkable will be discovered. If you seek enlightenment, this may help you get there. Its greatest charm is you truly have absolutely no idea what is coming next. Tundra Rock by Slomosa, a stoner rock album released on September 13th. We're back to where the river flows, the riffs are fuzzy, and the hooks are groovy. Something about this album and band just feels relatable. It's just really hard to not connect with them. It's like hanging out with your best friend and just, talking nonsense. Vermillion by Slift, a stoner prog album released on January 19th. We have to rewind all the way back to the beginning of the year for this one. Slift feel like they just can't do anything wrong at this point. Obviously not at the same level of success, but they almost feel like they have reached level of Tool, as far as respect across fans, critics, and strangers alike. Get our book to see where their latest endeavor has taken them to this time around. Obsidian by Crobot, a stoner alt-rock album released on September 13th. Another band that feels really hard to not like. They're tough and edgy while being accessible and radio-friendly, if that even still exists. This is in large part to the insane ability of Brandon Yeagley, who could easily be considered the best vocalist among any of the 240 albums and bands being showcased. We're talking the late Chris Cornell here. Happiness ain't the end of our story.
0, 0.
Cloned by So Pitted, a grunge stoner experimental album released on March 8th. Be careful with these swans, they will bite you. This one receives the award for being, the most original. What will help you is to note that this quad comes via the Pacific Northwest, of Seattle, and fog and everything. If you listen to this, it will all make sense. Well, maybe. This one is genuinely a trip. Heaven by Softcult, a grunge alt, or as they like to classify themselves, riot gaze. Released on May 24th. If only life were this easy. This is the most easy listening. It's also an EP, so it's a breeze at only 22 minutes among 6 songs. This one feels nostalgic. You listen to it and you feel like, I think I already know this, which is a compliment. The Red Chariot by Black Sky Giant, a stoner psychedelic rock album released on January 1st. Who the hell doesn't wish they were space riding on a hog fighting strange foreign creatures? No? Well, you certainly will when listening to this. Its strength is that it never stays in the same tempo for long, and it's rangy. Death by Gods and Punks, a stoner rock album released on July 26. More the sum of their parts. Similar to Blue Heron earlier in this collection, you have to pay attention here because they have a lot of small, intricate details that really add up. They also stand out as being the only band with a frickin' expansion pack. How cool is that? Babe, I'm not gonna leave you. And yes, I'm talking to you, Death. Grunge Pop Records by Sunpuddle, a grunge stoner album released on September 24th. Complete ripoff or a much needed breath of fresh air? Listen to it and you will understand what is meant by that. And when you do, you decide for yourself if you want to hang out and pass the syrup with them. And that was the collection. Hope you enjoyed it. Remember, it was just merely a collection of some of our favorite albums. If you want the entire ranked Graphic Metal's top 240 albums of 2024 of rock and metal across all the subgenres, plus the actual album scoring and where they fall ranked from 1 to 240, get our book, the Graphic Metal 2024 in Review digital book here. Plus, you get that warm and cozy feeling of knowing that you help support this channel. So this way we can build strong into the next year, which we have big plans for in 2025. I hope you had a great 2024 and good start to the next year. Until then, I'm Veer Von Wright, and you've been watching Graphic Metal. Cheers, keep on rocking.